Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Hammock Bliss extra large rainfly, so make sure that you stick around. Alright, like I said, this is the extra large rainfly by Hammock Bliss. Just to kind of give you a quick heads up, basically what I'm planning on doing with this is I'm actually taking a hiking trip tomorrow overnight on part of the Appalachian Trail, and I'm going to be testing this out while I'm out there. But before I get it in the field and do the review process there, I just kind of want to basically show you my initial impressions of the fly itself. So we will just run through the specs of it real quick. It's made out of 70 denier ripstop nylon, and it does say right there that it's waterproofed, so we'll definitely be testing that out, as it is expected to rain pretty much the entire trip, so we'll definitely check that out. The size of it, length, is actually 10 1/3 feet long, and then it is 6 1/3 feet wide, and it says that it weighs 18 ounces. We'll go ahead and check that real quick. Get the scale up and running. I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but it says 1 pound 2.2 ounces, so just 0.2 ounces over 18 ounces. So I would say that claim is definitely accurate. So basically what you're going to get with this, it actually comes with its own guidelines. As you can see here, hopefully, each of the four corners has 100 inches of cord attached to it, and there's actually tensioners on each corner as well, so you're not going to need to provide your own, which I think is really cool. We'll definitely test those out in the field to see how how they are quality wise. You also have here and here, I know they're not colored in this picture, but I'll show you real quick. I've got them affixed up at the top. You've actually got some guidelines, and as you can see, they're bright yellow, and they're actually tucked away at the moment underneath this this Velcro. They've actually got a little pocket there, and that's actually really cool in my opinion, because basically if you were to use it as a diamond configuration, those these points here and here are going to be somewhere along halfway between your ridge line there and then your guy out point. So instead of having cords just dangling, you've got you've got the ability to tuck them away. So I think that's really neat that they did that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, we'll go ahead and test it out in the field, and I'm just going to roll that footage right after this. Alright guys, now we are outside. Hopefully the fog isn't too bad, but as you can probably see in here, it's already raining a good little bit. So we will just go ahead and show you the features. As you can see, I do have it set up in the rectangle configuration, and I've got it really low on the hammock just to hopefully prevent a lot of water. Here are those pockets with the yellow cordage. There is no, I didn't tie a ridge line underneath it or anything. I'm basically just using the cordage provided, and then I've got a taut line hitch tied there, as well as on the other side to make it adjustable. But one thing that I do like is it has this loop that's sewn in here, so that if you did want to run a continuous ridge line and you have a carabiner or whatever, or some kind of toggle, you can just attach it there. So that's really neat. One thing that I do want to show you, there is a single seam on the tarp. You can see it running right here. It does, I know you probably can't see it, but it looks like it is sealed. It's not taped, but there is a sealer on it from what I can see. And then all four corners are, of course, guyed out as well. Here on each corner, there's that tensioner that we talked about. And basically, to use that, it's actually really simple. You're basically just going to lift up on it to loosen it, and then to tighten it, you're just going to take your tag in and pull it, and it'll tighten itself down. So I really like the way that works. Again, that's going to be the same on all four corners. One thing that I'm noticing right now, and this may may kind of change throughout the night, you can see there is a little bit of water pooling. So I would like to see another guy out point here to pull it out a little bit to hopefully prevent that. And it is supposed to rain pretty much the entire night, so we'll kind of see how that does hold up. But there is the hammock suspended underneath, and there you go. Again, like I said, there is no ridge line or anything tied, so that's pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and finish setting camp up. The materials of it and everything seem good. It's definitely beating, as you can see. So we're basically just going to test it throughout the night, and I will report back tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Alright, guys, we are back with the hammock. I've got it loaded now with an extra guy line and some the stakes that I use for it, so it is a little bit more bulky now. But I want to apologize, I wasn't able to actually get a video of this after that night of sleeping. When we woke up, it was actually still raining pretty good, and then started to snow on us when we had to break camp. So wasn't able to get a morning after shot just due to the weather. My phone wasn't working tremendously well, and it wasn't really bright enough. But I do want to report back, though, guys, that this thing performed beautifully. It actually rained just about all night, and when I say it rained, I mean it rained. We slept on top of Hawk Mountain, about 50 yards from the shelter on the Appalachian Trail, if you're familiar with that area. We set up camp, and I showed you the video of the tarp set up, and 8:30 that night, I actually let a friend of mine use this. He brought his hammock too, and he said that he wanted to sleep under it. So I actually brought an extra tent that I slept in, and as soon as I crawled in my tent about 8:30 that night, the bottom fell out, and guys, I mean, it poured. The wind was blowing. It was a brutal night, and as I laid down there in my tent, all I could think about was the friend of mine that was sleeping under this. I was worried that it wouldn't hold up. But when I woke up that next morning, I went and asked him. I said, "Hey, how'd it do, man?" He said he was dry as a bone, didn't get wet, didn't feel any of the wind because of the way we had it set up. It performed perfectly. So I highly recommend this thing. It worked very well. I did a real world test, and it definitely rained very well. Good enough to for me to worry about whether or not it was going to perform. So I think I may have a an audio clip that I took when I was laying in the tent of the rain coming down, just so you can kind of hear it. If I have that one and can find it, I'll attach it at the end of this video. But overall, guys, this extra large rainfly by Hammock Bliss is absolutely awesome. It worked very, very, very well. So again, I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll be disappointed, and you should definitely check it out. Thanks.